If I may, I shall get started. The most important thing that people have asked me is can I be able to watch the game in the World Cup whilst at Bio? And if I could just confirm for everybody, I think it's fantastic work by Karen and the team at UKGI. The in-game will be on the UK stand. I hope it doesn't look like this crowd, but it's 9:30 on the Tuesday morning. England versus Costa Rica. Of course, those of us who remember 1970 when Ali's army was the UK representative, we were all supporting Scotland then, and I look forward to support more parts of the Union for the England game, or Costa Rica fans, even if they're wearing after. From the UK stand 3317. Those are 450 Brits attending. I hope you can see that's a good opportunity. Also, it is on, and that's where the game will be at. The game there. The bioscience. If you've never been, it's a very big conference. It's the world's largest biotechnology event. Over 4,000 companies, 1,600 of those exhibiting, 60 countries represented. And what's the first of all is the chance to find out what's important and meet with people. Big is the thing. I think of bio as four basic things. It's partnering conference. I've ever seen where people spend lots of time in studies well away from the fantastic town that is San Diego. It's a big exhibition, and then around the edge of that there are hundreds of experts and talks and panels. And then, in addition to that, there's networking, art, and fringe events. And really, the format of this talk is to take you through elements of all of these. I imagine most people are going for the partnering. Many people will be exhibiting. People will be aware or looking through the bio brochures and the bio websites, and the talks that are around. And there's lots of stuff that goes on in the margins. In fact, we could talk on to that from the UK. So, what's different for those of you who've been before? What's different for 2014? The biggest difference is that the event is now focused on 3 days: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The event is only officially open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. In previous years, it's run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's much now unofficial events rather than the full conference itself. And the push from the bio organisers this year has been to try and produce a parallel stream on the link between biotech and mobile or e-health. And that interest to some people. So that's what's different. San Diego as a location is one that's been tried and tested by people who were there a few years ago, and is in the same place. Top tip. I think if you've not been, I'm being asked to ask people to mute to stop background noise, and if people if I ask people to go on mute, so that some people are struggling. If you are on the phone, if I can mute if it's on the system, you have a lot of background on. So please factor in the West Coast jet lag, and if you've not been before, it will be very good for you. You know you want to get out and realise that you get everything airport without being focused. I think importantly, it can be a long day on the feet, so what you wear footwear-wise, make sure you're smart, comfortable footwear, and think about your food, because it's not always easy to get fabulous. If Joe and Neris move, will be really helpful because we can people are struggling to hear me. So I will endeavour to I will endeavour to go to
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, there are people here who can't hear the presentation. Please ask you to mute. Yes, I believe it's who people are unable to hear me So could I ask you to please? Thank you. I'll hear if that's okay. So in advance, think about where things are based, but make sure you've got business cards. You will get at a rate of knots that you won't expect for the other part of the year. And one tip from people who've been before is, in terms of your contact management, it can be used to take a photo with your camera of who say they're on their last card and don't have a business card. And it's also useful for backup if they're the type of thing that can drop out of your pocket as you're rushing from a meeting to a networking event and such on. So take photos is something to work for other people. And my advice is, I think the online My Bio system organised by Bate, if you've registered, is quite a useful system and a good way of making both partnering contacts and organising your diary. And I would encourage everybody to think about doing that in the next week or so before you go. Make it your photos and so on and get information, and people do get information that will use it, so it's a good way to do it. Thank you much for muting your lines whilst I go through it. There's four basics: partnering conference, the exhibition will go through each of these, and then we'll have a discussion if that's okay. So partnering, I think the key thing is there can be keys to pick up your pass and make sure that you've got the right type of pass to give it the access that you need. There are different types of passes, different types of pass. You've got the right pass, and also that you can pick the other. If I can also get on the bio system early, that would be great. And if you can, you should consider using the UK booth as an informal meeting point. It can work for people that they can say, "I'll make you a UK booth, people from the UK booth," and if you're not in the formal partnering system, do use the UK booth as a place to hang out and meet partners. A couple of thoughts. It can be quite effective to get planned text. Obviously, you may have a system that works globally, but if you're not a regular traveller, getting a mobile phone plan that enables you to talk by text achieve, and that gives you the capacity to meet up with people. And got that contact number, it stops you being two strangers in the night. People aren't where they plan to be, and it is a big call. You make sure that you've got the meet them. And meeting bio or fast, you've got to have your elevator pitch ready. Once you've found each other, slots go around very, very fast. It can go fine and whiz, so make sure that your practice of what you want to get across very, very quickly. I think the things that people have sometimes said to me is, do want to go back to people. People have been bio will have bio fatigue. I think you make a promise to go back within a couple of weeks on email. That is sufficient, because lots of people will be spammed by everything you know after. So don't feel that that's irresponsible. I think you can give yourself a deadline that you can deliver to. A couple of weeks after is totally acceptable by everybody. And in terms of materials, people will be doing lots and lots of meetings. What I think is a good basic standard is to bring your brochures, but don't expect people to take them away. If you've got materials, so here's a version, have a look at it, but what I'll do, rather than you carry it around for the rest of the bio, is follow up with a version on email, and that seems to be a deep etiquette to follow. I want to talk about the exhibition stand. So if the print conference is the main element, this is where the stand is. This is map of the San Diego Convention Center. I hope they are drawn this helps people understand. Basically, a big building that goes on to the harbour, so I can see at the top, and the entrance is on the town side of the convention center. There are a number of entrances into the building. I've been to bio before. They put people right down to the right-hand end of the map, and you come in that right-hand corner, and then endeavour to push everybody through the exhibition hall on the way to the partnering, which is blocked. Map. The red ring shows the orange stand, which is the UK stand. You can see it about halfway down, so sort of in the middle, right between the entrances, the middle of the building, and the partnering booth. So it should be easy to stand, and if you walk down that middle corridor, you'll see it. I hope that's we are. It's in 3317. There's a queue, and they put in the bottom right-hand door. What you might want to do is walk along inside some of the entrances that are nearer the middle, through the entrances that are nearer the middle, with the speed to the UK stand. Joe, I wonder if it's possible for you to continue. I think people are hearing background noise. So if it's possible to me, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Times on the UK stand are England game, as I mentioned on Tuesday night. Pretty much as soon as the exhibition opens, we'll be having the England game. On the Tuesday afternoon, 6:30, there is a welcome reception. A lot of people stand, so if you want to come and find the UK delegation, meet friends and colleagues, a big time on the UK stand from 6:30. And I encourage you to come along there and invite colleagues to come there. So there'll be receptions and all the different international stands at that time that do come to the UK stand at Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Thursday, we've popped in a mojito pit stop as people are busy going through the third day. Make sure there's also a good time for a focus on. So and see us there. So the third element I talked about was speakers and talks, and if you like, who are the key people who are talking from UK at Bio this year? I would say there are these three further in the frame for that. First Minister David Willis is in San Diego. His schedule only allows him to go out on the Monday, so he's not formally attending Bio, which is now Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but well, to Fringe events, you'll see that we will on Monday. Branson, the famous UK-based entrepreneur, is on Tuesday lunchtime giving the keynote speech, and that's usually a highlight for many people, so he should be good fun. I picture of him in his Virgin Galactic. I imagine he will want to talk up the base programme, but maybe if he's interested, and we're trying to encourage him to talk up the benefits of the UK. Ian Hudson, who's the Chief Executive of the MHRE, is also talking to a global audience about regulatory flexibilities and innovation in the UK space, attending the conferences as speaking slots from the Tuesday on Wednesday. So if you like our staff. And in terms of the talks that we are aware of on the agenda, these are ones that I'm aware of that I believe the UK has a part in or has inspired. On the Tuesday morning, first thing, between 9 and 9:45, so even before the exhibition hall is fully open, there's a talk on the UK early access scheme that with adaptive licensing with Ian Hudson, room 5B. Richardson's keynote is lunchtime on the Tuesday at room 20, and Ian Hudson is also doing a talk on strategic study plans and how the MHRA view their from the 4:15 on the Tuesday. Also on Thursday, there's a couple of interesting panels. There's a panel 1 till 2, chaired by Mike Ward of Script, and that has some significant UK interest in 32 A and B, and there's an interesting piece on the Salford lung study and how the NHS will on an innovative real-world study design for chronic conditions in room 31A. So they're the ones that I'm aware of on the official Bio programme, and I'll come to the Fringe programme where Willis is speaking in a moment. Anybody who's got other things that they're involved in who would like to share with the UK group in terms of official talks at Bio this year with the UK engagement?
Steve, it's Harriet here. Just to mention, just as a quick aside, that I've been asked by Patrick, the Governor of Mass, obviously, to sit on a press conference, which is on the Tuesday afternoon. My understanding is that there's going to be a big announcement from him and from Susan Wyndham-Bannister of the Mass Life Sciences Forum. And so I'll be sitting on that in the business ambassador capacity, just to let everybody know.
Do you know what time that is?
I do. bear with me a second. Actually, it's in a different part of my computer. I think it's 2 o'clock on the Tuesday, but I can let you know.
People will be rushing away from Richard Branson to come to you guys.
That's very kind of you.
Okay, so I hope I've given people some ideas about the official partnering program. A very rapid couple of top tips there. We've talked a bit about the exhibition hall of the UK spaces. We've talked a bit about the official speakers. But also what's interesting is what's not the official program, but is also around. So if you think these are events that are in margins of the official program, but I think are important from the UK perspective. And here's what's going on Monday. On the Monday, there is a joint Australia, Canada and UK reception at Marriott Marquis San Diego Marina, hosted by UKTI at 4 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock, there is fireside chat and reception in the same location with David Willett and Mark Stevenson of Life Science Solutions partner Thermo Fisher. I'll be conquering, I believe, or moderating at the Marriott Marquis. And I think I'm writing, and I hope I've got. Is it Peter from UKI on the line?
The lounge here.
John.
Sorry, and I imagine UK participants are welcome to those two events.
We need to have people informed in advance because there are limitations on numbers.
So if you're interested, drop us a line, drop Karen a line if you've not been invited already, and be aware that there are those events going on. So Harriet, I'm going to come to you here. It's dinner in partnership with a number of people. I believe it's invite only on the evening. Is that right, Harriet?
This is the third One Nucleus dinner that we've done bio, and it started out very much as purely for our members to engage with US clusters that we're working with. But as everybody will see, we're delighted that we're now working on it with CCRA and BIA as supporters and partners on it. So it's open to BIA and CCRA members as well. And if anybody is on the line and hasn't been invited or isn't aware of it and wants to go, if they just let me know at harriet@onenucleus.com, and that's the same for the breakfast the following morning.
For that in a second. So thank you, Harriet. A kind offer, and I think you can see that although there's no official program during the day on Monday, things are heating up by the evening. So I hope if you're through over your jet lag by Monday, you can find a useful evening. Put in brackets here that the One Nucleus dinner is at the same time as the welcome reception, which is held on the US aircraft carrier parked in the dock at San Diego, so it's not possible to go. But I would always think Harriet over aircraft carrier and people are aware of that. And travel-wise, just you know, Harriet, I'm sure you're aware of this. It's a carriage from the Marriott Marquis and Marina, which is next to the convention centre in the map, round Bate to the San Diego Yacht Club. So it's 15 minutes in a car, 5 miles. Not what you can do. So just people have that in fact, if you're coming from the airport, you can see the airport is midway between both of these. Depending where people are, but just always useful to understand that.
Great, Steve. If
Okay,
you
so
just mention,
Tuesday. Yeah.
Could I just mention that if people are concerned about how they get back from there, because it's obviously 15 minutes from the centre, we have got taxis that will be available. It's getting back to the centre won't be a problem.
Great. Thank you. On the Tuesday, there is the One Nucleus breakfast at the Hilton San Diego Bay, which is one part boulevard in the morning, and then in the evening there is a reception and dinner organised by UKTI and Ashley, which again I believe is in Harriet. Do you want to talk to the One Nucleus breakfast and what's going on there?
Yeah, so again, this is the third time we've run a breakfast, and it'll start at 7. I think registration is at the crack of dawn, though 6:30, and it'll run through to 9:30, because we're obviously conscious that there's the an event that starts at 9, and we don't want to clash with anything. It's going to be chaired by Steve Burrell, who many of the people on the line will obviously know and have heard of. And the subject is going to be a panel debate around how patient histories can be used to enhance R&D and obviously therefore enhance patient outcomes. Focus on big data, and we've got some cracking speakers, and I say chaired by Steve, and that's one nucleus in collaboration with Stockholm and Uppsala Life Sciences specifically, but bringing other cluster organisations as well.
Great, thank you very much. Anybody from UKTI who wants to talk to the reception and dinner on Tuesday evening?
Well, just to say, this is very much an invite-only activity, and the US team put in a huge amount of effort into getting the seating plan right to maximise everyone's benefit. So please, on no account, just turn up, because you won't be admitted. But if for any reason someone hasn't received an invitation and expects or thinks that they should have done, then please let us know as soon as possible, and I can certainly look into that.
I think for complete, it's just so that you take delegation or activities that have worked around the edges as well as the core biome. I've put it on, and going for the first time, the probably feeling that you might want to consider booking a restaurant if you've not got an invite to that reception is the Tuesday official bio activity that night. And Harriet, San Diego Bate is right next door to the San Diego Convention Center. Like it on Google Maps when you put a west location, and they suggest walking. It's less than a third of a mile between the two, so you've got to walk from the convention centre section, make it very practical on people thinking about coming in Tuesday morning to the next door to where the convention centre is, and probably way of doing it. On Wednesday, there is a bio reception in the San Diego Gaslight District, which is the district that's literally just opposite the convention centre. You can see here Harvard at the top of the picture, and the Gaslamp Quarter Station mark just side of the convention centre is historic heart of San Diego, and what they basically do is shut a road full of bars and turn over to people from the bio convention, so it can be quite a good evening. The UK delegation will be meet up in one of these bars. We haven't quite worked out which ones yet, and Aaron, I don't know whether you'll be able to do some recce before we there on Wednesday evening, and we'll make sure that we've got the location known to people on stand on Wednesday. It's very, very informal. If you don't know what to do that evening and you want to meet up for some drinks, we'll just know that we give people the name of the bar we're going to be in. It's nothing more formal, but just so that people are aware there will be a networking activity if people want it on Wednesday at bio, and you'll get a reception ticket if you want to get to that. It may be for you, it may not be for you, but just don't go on Wednesday. The other thing we'd say is there's a full variable of this activity available from Karen, who's done a fantastic job in pulling all this together. So we've got this in the document as these slides available after this call. But Karen, do you want to talk to this?
To say that I have sent it out to most people who are registered, but if anybody's been missed off the list, just drop me an email and I can send you the document with list all the activities in and how to register.
So Jay asked, are they actually closing off the relevant section, or is it just a specific pass? I think a specific answer to that. My experience was last time they shut the entire part of the road, and I believe that that's what they're doing again. Karen, do you know the answer to that one?
They will be closing off of the reception gas lamp. Yeah, they'll be closing off some of the gas lamp region, sort of the main road with all the bars on. That will all be closed off.
It will be the road, whether it's the entire district, I don't know, but I'm imagining they'll shut the streets.
Yeah, they'll shut the streets, and I'll locate the bar for us to meet on that evening, and I'll let everybody know at the reception on the Tuesday afternoon.
Excellent. My sense is we've talked a little bit about the partnering process. We've talked about exhibition. We've talked about the one thing we can spend a couple of minutes on is we're all going to the UK delegation. The UK is the second largest overseas delegation to buy historically. And one of the things I think we can all get benefit from is all our stuff up as a community that's very strong. So We talk about what's our core message. I think we talk about great environment, fantastic science, a strong legal and IP, proud discovery, tradition and experience, for progressive regulatory environment, and strong quality clinical trials capability. A few slides on this, and I don't intend to go through them, but if you've got a moment on the play now just to flip through, or you're putting your things together, these are the elements that you can drop into the background that should put your company in the context of a very strong ecosystem. So these are the core messages that UKTI will be using at the time, and we'll chime in with it. So, we'll talk about an unrivaled ecosystem that brings together business, research, clinicians, and patients to translate discovery into conditions. We support pilots to bring innovation to market earlier and more easily, making the UK location of choice and find your business and R&D partners. An unrivaled ecosystem is the message. If you get 1 second in the list with somebody from the US. One of the productive life science industries is supported by government with a government priority, a great business environment, fantastic IP and legal framework, flexible labour environment, talent pool, great tax regime, great people in the UK like yourselves, research-based clinical work, SMEs and advisors, and it's a fantastic place to go from the UK and Europe, a great reputation and a great experience doing this, and easily leapfrog into Europe. Why the UK? We've got a great track record in scientific discovery and bringing patients to pay 78 Nobel Prizes, gaining contributions in genomics, stem cells, antibodies, imaging, a fast experimental and clinical environment, supported government-funded expert networks. We're unlocking the big data of the NHS for discovery, development, and delivery, as having leading health regulation and health economics. And I hope you can see at this point in time with both the events that Harriet's doing on data, the things that Ian Hudson will be doing, the regulation of the fact that we've got they're talking up, the support from the government. If you're looking for some key facts about the sector that get on what you'll be selling in terms of your own company, the third largest contributor to economic growth in the UK. 17 of the top 20 pharma companies operate in the UK, and the one-sixth of the most popular prescription medicines were developed in the UK, which is not very small island off the coast of Europe. It may be useful to talk up the clinical research infrastructure, and there's a few points here that might just be worth reminding people of. I point out that clinical trials in the UK have increased 3 to 5-fold in the last year. The idea that things are in decline here is not the case. There's a lot going on here. There's significant infrastructure spend to support that, around £500 million a year. So it can be a useful point if you're doing clinical research. If people are more interested in the business environment, remind people the local corporation tax is 20% here, and that's significantly different to parts of the world. The 10 patent box on profits, often patents are exploited in the UK, is very competitive globally, and it's important to remind people of. Our tax credits here, one of the most generous schemes in the world, and many people have used the biomedical catalyst fund, so it's a positive fiscal environment and a great place to do business. So just remind people of those, and these are just there for you if you need this in the background before you go. That's in summary. Alistair, I think that's probably as far as I want to go on bio. At the moment, Alistair, you talk about what BioPartner is doing if you're online. Are you still with us? Come on, please. So I can't hear you. I don't know if anybody else can. So I'll just talk up what you do. Not only with one initiative here to go with BioPartner to do delegations and missions to conferences, and you've got some great discounts for people who tap into UKTI and tap grants to help this happen. And the ones that are around, if you're interested in your bios, some of the ones, here's some of the other ones that are coming up that you can benefit from. So if you're interested in Biopharma America, Bioscience, Biotech, or Bio Europe, opportunities to engage with those either through market visits or through tap grants and Biopharma America to help you. So they're used to people going forward. Alistair?
Yes, hear me now, Steve?
So, anything to add?
everybody's focusing on bio at the moment, getting to go to San Diego, but do give thought to the rest of the year. There's some pretty good partnering conferences out there, and our focus really is on the best business development conferences. As you can see on the slide, some of these are supported by UKTI TAP grants, and also to say that we've negotiated the very highest discounts. So of all the groups in the UK offering discounts, ours are the highest, so make sure that you come through us to save as much money as you can, and also be a part of the UK delegations, because we're doing a similar sort of thing in Bio Spain and in Bio Europe.
Great stuff. So that's sort of the next opportunities coming up. If you're interested in being we've got a joint regulatory conference with the HRA before Bio next week, and we've also got a Women in Bio networking evening after the MHRA conference. CEO, we've got a CEO Investor Forum on the 10th and 11th of July, and the diary is the Bioscience Forum in London on the 7th of October, ahead of course, our fantastic gala dinner at the end of January next year. I think from my perspective, that's really as far as I was going today. I hope I've given you some of the new highlights and given you a shape to Bio. I will be around on the stand and engage and look to help you promote your business in any way we can. I'm happy to take questions and find chats which might be easier, or by people if they want to speak. And you've got myself, you've got Karen, you've got Harriet. Open the floor to comments and questions.
Steve, it's John here from UKTI. Can I just give a quick plug for our commercial officers? We've got a big team of staff from the US who are going to be at Bio for the full 3 days. We've also got people coming in from Brazil, Australia, and a couple of other markets. So if you are looking to and look into possibilities in other markets, then do please come by the UKTI stand and arrange a meeting with one of our commercial experts. Thanks.
Okay, so I'm sort of pointing people in the direction of those busy times on the stand. Probably the reception we've got on there is a good time to meet those guys. They'll all be there then.
Yep, that's right.
And also be around in between those times if you're interested. So any of those times might be good times to catch up with them. Any more? Anybody who's an old hand who thinks I've missed the key thing you need to know about Bio? I'm proposing that I thank you for your attendance. I hope you found this useful. Do give me feedback, informal or formal, on email, or catch you at the UK stand and tell me how I can improve this service if it's of use. I look forward to a fabulous week with you all there. Apologies if you found it hard to hear all of this because of a noisy line, but I hope you've got some out of it, and I look forward to working with you all at Bio in a week or so's time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sorry, people didn't mute.